let's go to the Hollywood Stuntmen's Hall of Fame, which isn't located in Hollywood. They found a more beautiful setting in which to honor these daring individuals. For more than 4 decades, filmmakers have been drawn to this remote, unpopulated desert in Utah. It's because the arid landscape surrounding the city of Moab presents a spectacular panoramic backdrop. So it's only fitting that Moab would be the home of the only Hall of Fame and museum dedicated to those film people who put the real thrills into those thrilling days of yesteryear, the Hollywood Stuntmen.
Welcome to the Hollywood Stuntmen's Hall of Fame.
Former stuntman and memorabilia collector John Hagner founded the Hall of Fame and Museum to honor those whose feats of daring usually go unsung.
What fascinated me the most and still does is the fact that stunt people are hired to do things that are seemingly impossible, and they have to make it look as if it's an accident.
What also fascinates Hagner are the ingenious devices the stuntmen would construct to perform difficult stunts. Ever wonder how those movie cowboys make those leaps or falls from their horse? They use one of these, a stirrup step. Here's how it works. The stuntman rides up alongside the stagecoach and jumps from his horse to the stage. But to do this, the stuntman needs something to push off from. The stirrup is not stable enough.
So instead of using the stirrup to fall from the horse, you take your foot out, you step onto the stirrup step, which is solid against the horse, and it gives you a solid base to leap from.
This particular stunt was performed by one of the greatest stunt pioneers, Yakima Canutt. It was Yak who turned falling off a horse into an art form. And when Western film idol John Wayne wanted a stunt double, he got the best. That's really Yakima riding the bronc, not the Duke. But Hagner says most people don't know that together, John Wayne and Yakima Canutt left a lasting stunt legacy. They helped, as Hagner says, to beautify the brawl.
The early pictures that Wayne did with Yakima Canutt, the fights were not choreographed to the extent that they are today. So they just got their heads together and said, we've got to make the fight look more convincing.
What Wayne and Canutt created was the pass-flow punch. And nothing gives Hagner greater pleasure than sharing such secrets with Hall of Fame visitors.
Now I'm going to take my hand away, and you really hit me hard, right where my hand was. Go ahead. Ooh. Oh. Wow. Ooh. What?
This way.
Oh, gee. Definitely stunt people are the unsung heroes. They're getting more recognition now than they did in the past. And they're entitled to it.
So the next time you see a lightning-quick draw, a seemingly impossible wing walk, or some courageous bone-crunching Western action, think of the stuntmen and women who wrote the book on hair-raising motion picture excitement. Lessons still learned by today's stuntmasters. Now let's go high above the earth for a gut-wrenching aerial challenge with a Top Gun who knows that any false move could be his last. Growing up in France, Claude Bessier had dreamed of flying as a fighter pilot in the French Air Force. But his dream was shattered when a back injury sustained in a car accident rendered him medically ineligible. Broken-hearted but determined, Claude revised his ambitions to concentrate on an equally daring endeavor, aerial acrobatics. Claude Bessier is now considered by many to be the best aerobatic pilot in the world. Claude spent 20 years in the French Air Force, and while he never flew as a fighter pilot, he finally earned a coveted spot in the Équipe de France, the renowned French acrobatics team. Recently promoted to trainer of the team, Claude has won the title of world champion at the International Aerial Acrobatic Championships. Claude Bessier makes these aerobatic stunts look virtually effortless, but in fact, they are incredible. The amazing amazingly light and powerful CAP 230 airplane is so responsive that the slightest touch of the stick can cause the plane to soar out of control. Speeds of over 200 miles per hour, combined with abrupt changes in altitude and direction, result in the stunning effect of G-force more powerful than ever endured before. Aerobatics expert Rich Stoll, internationally recognized as a pioneer in emergency maneuvers training, likens the effect of G-loads to the feel of a roller coaster.
As you come screaming down the hill and you suddenly change direction back going uphill again, all of a sudden that change in direction you feel a lot heavier. And that's a G-load, G-force. And this is what the pilot is experiencing anytime he changes his flight direction.
The physical impact of the G-loads creates a sensational experience, completely disorienting and uncomfortable to most. Claude's ability to maneuver this vastly sensitive airplane at high speeds while under the influence of the taxing G-loads is what makes this aerobatic flight so astounding.
Every molecule, every cell in your body is experiencing all the G-loads. Sometimes they're being pulled, sometimes they're being pushed, and it's like doing isometric exercises. Every part of your body feels the effects of these G-loads.
Known as a master of aerobatics, Claude Bessier is also arguably one of the world's greatest athletes, able to regularly sustain the pounding of positive Gs that would paralyze others.
The blood is pulled away from the brain, and enough blood can be pulled under high G-loads and under a long enough duration that the pilot experiences what's called a G-lock, which stands for G-induced loss of consciousness, and the pilot simply blacks out.
Besides being physically challenging, aerobatics can take a great mental toll. Claude has to accurately perceive what's going on at the controls and react to the changes in altitudes and airspeeds occurring all around him. A sighting device is mounted on the left wing, which affords Claude more precise control for flying straight and at perfect angles, especially desirable in competition. Claude trains using karate techniques which help with respiration and blood flow, enabling him to withstand the brutal forces he encounters during his aerial acrobatics. High speeds and unbelievable physical stress are all in a day's work for the indomitable Claude Bessier. He's among the best because of his phenomenal skills combined with his complete calm and concentration in the face of brutally punishing maneuvers.
Two of the dangers that the pilot always has to battle when he's in front of a crowd, a roaring crowd doing aerobatic maneuvers, is impulsivity and lack of good judgment. If he allows himself to get caught up and lose his concentration, then he's an accident waiting to happen.
Claude Bessier is not prone to impulsive behavior. He's a man who pursued his dreams even when they seemed to elude him. With perseverance and phenomenal daring, Claude Bessier has soared to impossible heights of achievement as one of the greatest aerial stuntmasters in the world.
Stuntmasters will return.